we will see the countermeasures for the wireless hacking. As part of the wireless hacking, we have seen the 802.11, that is Wi-Fi hacking technique. In this Wi-Fi hacking, we have majorly focused on the authentication protocols. So how to crack the authentication protocol? In that wide encryption protocol, wide equivalent privacy we have seen, and WPA, WPA2 and its variants we have seen. And we have by observing the activity or by observing the authentication procedure, we decided that it is always better to use WPA2 and advanced versions for authentication. So as part of this wireless hacking, along with Wi-Fi, we have the most commonly used one, which is called Bluetooth hacking, also been discussed in the previous lecture. In this, we'll see the wireless hacking countermeasures, some best practices to be followed to save to keep our wireless devices secure. So first one is defending against Bluetooth hacking. So in this, the recommendations are like this: use non-regular patterns as pin keys. So non-regular patterns means it's not like some regular patterns will be there, like a simple line or something people used to use. So always use tough keys for the mobile devices, and keep the device in non-discoverable mode. So usually there is a discoverable mode, non-discoverable mode, and a hidden semi-discoverable mode. So these kind of modes will be available in the Bluetooth devices. So always keep your device in the non-discoverable mode. The reason is it is whenever it is discoverable, then blue checking kind of thing is very easy to perform. So that is the main problem was observed in the recent app, which is called Arogya Setu app. Everyone asked to install this Arogya Setu app for getting the alerts of related COVID-19 or COVID-19 positive cases nearby in your vicinity. So basically, it also uses Bluetooth by default. So whenever you turn off the Bluetooth, that app will not work. So if you want to enable that activity, then you are supposed to hide the Bluetooth name that is with the mobile device. So you hide it and you enable it so that no one can discover it. So this kind of thing you can make use of. So check all paired devices and remove that is not related to you. So always check the paired devices. Sometimes you might have connected to a Bluetooth device very long back, but whenever you turn on your Bluetooth and check for the nearby devices, that a very old device that you have connected will also be shown. So such kind of devices to be removed from your list. That BT enabled device network range to the lowest and perform pairing only in secured area. So this is very important to do. So next one is change the default settings of Bluetooth device to the best security standards. So here the best security standards means always you have to upgrade the related application. Then only the best security standards, if anything is available, that will be upgraded into the application and will be in force. So that reason always your Bluetooth device settings should be in the best security standard, and use link encryption for all BT connections. The only possible way of maintaining your data secure is link level encryption. So that is what you call in WhatsApp you will find end-to-end encryption. Here end-to-end encryption means from your WhatsApp application to lower levels via communication channel. Again at the receiving end, they will receive via physical layer, then link layer, then it will shown to the application layer. So this is what is called end-to-end. That means here whatever the message you send from sender to receiver via WhatsApp is application and lower level encryption is enabled. But here the Bluetooth connection is majorly focused on the radio and link level. And here radio level we cannot do it, but at the link level some encryption mechanisms can be added, so that you can do it here. So next is make sure that encryption is empowered on each link. So this is also very important. Here each link means each connected device. This is what is called each link. These are the things are recommended to maintain your Bluetooth safe from the hacking. Next one is we'll see the defending against wired equivalent privacy cracking. We have seen in the tutorial and previously in the video, that is practicing wireless hacking. I have shown you how to crack this wireless encryption protocol using AirCrackNG. For this, we have collected some traces and using AirCrackNG and the rock.txt password list. So we attempted to crack the password which is available in that four-way handshake of the wireless traces. So we have observed how to crack those passwords. So, but how to defend against this wired equivalent privacy cracking? So, first one is passphrase. So, only way to crack wireless equivalent privacy is to sniff the password PMK. Hence, keeping extremely complicated passwords may solve the problem. Passphrase complexity. Basically, you are recommended to set the password random passwords, and especially the characters that are greater than 20 characters. That is, passphrase must be at least of 20 characters. And always you are supposed to use WPA2 instead of WEP. CCMP encryption are recommended to use. Additional controls are like this, using the virtual private network and the network access control and network access protection solutions to be used for making the WEP secure. Next one is defending against a rogue access point. So here rogue access point are the access points that are virtually created by the hacker whenever he go for the war driving or to launch some fake access points, so that the victims are the people who are nearby will feel that okay, this is the original one and will connect to that. So for that, first thing is detecting the rogue access points. So you should deploy an access point in such a way that it always keep on performing the RF scanning and access point scanning. So RF scanning is the radio frequency scanning. So it will check for the frequency level and channel level on which any other devices are working, because you are aware of that in any organization, since you are the one who is deploying the wireless devices. So you will be aware of that what are the wireless devices are there and what is the frequency of those wireless devices and at what channel they are communicating. So obviously, if it is out of that channel and if it is out of the frequency level, then automatically that access point that you deploy over there will discover that okay, this is the access point which is not in our concern and which is not related to our institution or network was identified. So you are supposed to detect in such a way. And sometimes, majorly the hackers what they will do is the rogue access points used to communicate to a large distance. Usually, normal access points usually will cover up to 150 meters or 200 meters at max. But the hackers may deploy a rogue access point to cover the entire network, that is organizational network or organization area. So for that, he may place a rogue access point that may go up to 300 meters or 400 meters. So how it will be detected? Basically, this will be detected based upon the signal strength. So you are supposed to identify what is the signal strength with which you can connect to that access point. As the signal strength is more, obviously more power is transmitted. So more transmission power is used. The transmission power and signal distance is directly proportional. As the signal distance increases, as the transmission power increases, the signal distance also increases. But you are the one who knows that what are the access points that you are using, what is the transmission power you have set, what is the distance you have set. So obviously if it is out of this cluster, then obviously those access points are the rogue access points. So in this way you are supposed to detect the rogue access points. And sometimes you may also use some network management software which are called wired side inputs. To use the network management software to detect the rogue access points. Especially this software detects the devices which are connected through the local area networks, including Telnet, SNMP, and other Cisco-related protocols. So all these, that means if any rogue access point was connected through any medium in the network, will be detected by this network management software. So obviously these are not free softwares. Some proprietary softwares are available. So you may make use of those proprietary software. So how to block the detected rogue access point? So one thing is disable the port with which you are connecting to the access point. That is one method. Second one is reversely apply the denial of service on the access point. So thereby the access point is unable to serve any other device. So thereby you can block the access point for some time. So this is a reverse action. This means which is also called as offensive defense. So this kind of things will be followed in blocking the rogue access point. Basically, here in wireless devices, first of all, configuration is required, and SSID setting is required, and authentication is required. So here I'm going to explain some best practices that are to be used in maintaining these things. So device configuration best practices. Change the default SSID after device configuration. So you change it. That is usually if you purchase any mobile device, automatically that with that mobile device name, SSID will be created whenever you create a hotspot. So you change the SSID after device configuration. Set strong router access password, at least of 12 characters or 15 characters length, with combination of capital letters, small letters, special characters, etc. So enable firewall protection and disable SSID broadcast, disable remote user router login. So usually this remote router login is done via like how you will connect and log in your what you call Wi-Fi router at your broadband Wi-Fi router just by typing the http://19.168.1.1. Then automatically that router's login page will come and you will log in it. So this way of remote login you may better try to avoid. Next one is enable MAC address filtering. So with this MAC address filtering, you can come to know who are our devices and who are not our devices. Enable encryption on the access point. Change the passphrase frequently. So this is what we have recommended in the previous slides also. Whenever to defend from the wire equivalent privacy cracking. So change the passphrases frequently. Don't use the same passphrase every time. Next one is the SSID setting best practices. Use SSID cloaking to keep certain default wireless messages from broadcasting. Like usually in the communication of the 802.11, there is a four-way handshake will be there. In this, usually every Wi-Fi device or wireless device usually send the request to send messages, RTS messages. In response to the request to send, TTS messages will be sent by the access point. That is called clear to send. So this kind of exchange will happen, and based upon this exchange, finally the data communication takes place once the password or once the communication is authenticated. So here the intention of saying is so. Better you use SSID clocking to keep certain default wireless messages that is from broadcasting. So like a request to send, clear to send, whenever this kind of things were sent, obviously they have to be received by the MAC, that is medium access control. Whenever MAC was sent, then obviously MAC address will also be sent. So this can be easily discovered by the any other any hacker who are spoofing or who are on the eavesdropping mode can easily capture those MAC addresses. So always try to disable this kind of default wireless messages from broadcasting. So do not use easy to guess string as passphrase. Place firewall packet filters in between the access point. Limit the strength of the wireless network. Here, the strength of the wireless network in the sense the communication range or maybe the link level security. These kind of things should be limited. Next is check for configuration and setup problems. Usually, whenever after upgradation, after patching, or maybe after doing modifications. Sometimes configuration may be disturbed or maybe setup may be disturbed. So whenever you do this systematically, shut down the router or close the router and restart the router again to work with. Next one is implement an additional technique for encryption of traffic whenever you use the wireless, virtual private network via IPSec over wireless communication. So these are the things are recommended to use whenever for this particular SSID technique. Then finally, authentication best practices. Choose the WPA or WPA2 and its variants instead of WEP. Place wireless access point in secure location so that physical theft may not be possible. Next one is implement wireless protected access WPA2 enterprise wherever is possible. Usually, when you are implementing this WPA2 or when you are deploying this wireless device in a network, in an organizational network, it is always recommended to use WPA2 enterprise because this WPA2 enterprise will generate the authentication via this radius server, which is a centralized server. So keep drivers on all wireless devices updated and disable networks when it is not in use. Next, finally, recommended to use centralized servers for authentication. This is called radius servers that we have seen in the Wi-Fi authentication. So these are the best practices that need to be followed to avoid the wireless hacking, either with respect to the 802.11 or 802.15.1, which is Bluetooth.